You're a mum, you're a mum, you're a busy mum. Come listen to the Busy Mum podcast. Life hacks and inspiration for the busy modern mum.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Busy Mum podcast. Just before we get into this interview, I will be releasing new episodes each Monday morning, just like clockwork. Also, if you don't want to miss an episode, subscribe to my iTunes channel, The Busy Mum Podcast. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. Just search The Busy Mum and you should find me there. Now, a word from our sponsor. Do you find that you hop in the shower, you're enjoying the lovely hot water dripping down all over your body, relaxation, no interruptions from the kids, and you think, yeah, I'm going to shave my legs now. You just pick up your razor and it's in just the most rubbish condition. It's rusted, it's full of soap scum or shaving cream, or even your husband has grabbed it and shaved his face and not cleaned it out. Gross. But you clean it out a little bit, you give it a go, and you end up cutting your legs, and now they look worse than when they were just a little bit hairy. Well, now thanks to Pins, the latest and greatest women's leg shaving company, you can have them delivered straight to your door. New razors all the time. But not only do they have razors with 6 blades plus 4 extra cartridges in the pack, but they also have a clear shave gel, which is slippery as hell and moisturizes to boot. The gel also allows you to see exactly what you are shaving, which is great for those pits and private bits. I've been using them now for at least 6 months and am loving it. Check them out at www.pinspins.com.au and don't forget to use the Busy Mum podcast code BusyMum to get 15% off your first purchase. Well, welcome to the Busy Mum podcast. How are you this morning?
Yeah, I am really well actually, although I'm waiting for the sun to come out. Not happening.
Oh, yeah. Whereabouts are you from?
So in Melbourne, so northwest Melbourne.
Oh, okay, because I was like looking out, I'm like, it's going to be 28 degrees today in Sydney, so we are very lucky to get the sun. I'll send you some sun rays, hey?
Yeah, that would be awesome actually. We've got cloud and rain and wind and horrid.
Well, isn't it that's just Melbourne though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you can't really get away from that. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Natalie.
So I am 36 years old. I am a mum of one, a 4-year-old daughter. I also have a nearly 8-year-old fur baby as well, who was my first, and happily married to a man that I've been with since I was 17. So I guess we call them our high school sweethearts. And he is obsessed with training for Ironman triathlons actually. So I feel like I'm his support around that. But then when I'm not supporting him, I'm also chasing my own goals of running marathons and now also running my own business as a wellness coach and trainer.
That's amazing. Okay, let's step it back a little bit. So how long have you been together again? Did you say 7?
Since we were 17. So we're coming, I think next year will be about 20 years.
Wow, that is amazing. So what is the secret? Tell me, what is the secret?
I think, early days when we were together, we were so young and, we never really went out and did everything together. We always had our own friends network and, we've definitely kept that up as well, that we have our time together, we have our time with our friends and then with our family as well. Obviously, since having my daughter, it's a lot harder to have that, one-on-one time together all the time. But yeah, we've just always had a good friendship network around us and made time for ourselves, but with others too. And, and then I guess in sort of, we're probably grown up together as well. And so he's found his passion of Ironman. I found my passion of running. And that's really been something that's, kept us, close and, supporting each other.
And how are you preparing for these marathons? I've never had a desire to run a marathon. The furthest I've ever run is 7 kilometres, and I was pretty proud of myself, and then I stopped completely. But how do you prepare yourself mentally to run a marathon? Is it 42 Ks?
42.2, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Big challenges. So I ran my first one a couple of months before I actually fell pregnant with my daughter, and so the last 3 I've run since I've had her. And, that first marathon I did was harder when I was by myself. I didn't have a dependent. But For me, I guess it's just I love the challenge and I love the thrill of working towards a goal. And I haven't always been a runner. I only started running about 10 years ago. I never thought that a marathon was going to be an option. But now I've run 4 actually. And it's really just, taking one step at a time. And so I look at the goal that I've got to work towards and work back from there and, break it down week by week, day by day. I do a lot of meditation and a lot of visualization as well to sort of focus on that, crossing that finish line. But I just love the transformation that I go through for each marathon week on week, and that's what helps keep me focused on the end goal.
We have a mum at our school who I just recently spoke to, and she's been a runner since high school basically, and she's done quite a few of the big 7 marathons, I believe they are, and she was telling me about how the London Marathon is the hardest to get into. It's like winning the lotto, and like you basically have to be a citizen there or something like that. Is that?
Yeah, they are tough. You can pay your way through. I actually did the New York Marathon last year in November.
Yep.
And I paid my way in actually with a travel agency. So
is it quite expensive?
Going through a travel agent, yes, you do pay a fair bit, but you know what? I think I would have paid double that for the experience I had with New York. It was 50,000 runners, 1.2 million people along the whole course.
Wow.
And just an incredible feeling. And when I talk about it, I still just get those chills and excitement in me actually.
Well, it's a massive achievement. Like, what's the next marathon you're going to run? Like, which ones have you run? So you've run New York.
I've done New York.
Yep.
I've done Melbourne twice. I've done Sydney. Mm-hmm. I've got a couple of international ones that I'd love to do. Tokyo, I've heard, is really good. But I'm actually eyeing off. There's a run in March, which is a 60K run, and for a foundation called Love Me, Love You. And just started thinking about maybe working towards that one for something extra big.
Yeah, that's
just because.
Massive. I reckon I could bike ride 60Ks. I think I could do it, but running, I think my feet would end up falling off.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with me too, is I look at these goals and I think, I really would love to do that. I get really excited, and then I sort of, when it comes to training, then it dawns on me just how far it actually is. But then I don't ever sort of lose that excitement.
So do you have like music on, like when you're running, or are you running in silence?
Look, sometimes I'll run in silence. Sometimes I'll run with people and I'll chew their ears off if we're going for, a 3-hour run. I love to talk while I'm running. But then sometimes I like to just run with nothing, because when I do the marathon, I don't run with anything. So I try and do that just to prep myself for the big day.
So what are you saying to yourself in the marathons? What are your positive affirmations or your chants that you're saying to yourself when you're running?
Look, I really do always just tell myself, keep going, just, keep moving 1K at a time, one step at a time. And I really just focus on my breathing and doing that whole sort of mind-body connection that I'm focusing on moving my legs and just, breathing with every movement really. And then counting down the Ks. Normally when I get to about 38K, that is the point where I'm absolutely just in so much pain, and I'm like, I've only got 4Ks to go, and then I think about the track that I run locally, and I tell myself it's only one lap of that, and then I break it down. But
that's very wise. Okay, I didn't know that. And so with business as well, you've started a business. Are you approaching business like you do with your marathon running as well? Like you just break it down step by step, day by day?
I do, yeah, definitely. And it's funny, so I started this business about 18 months ago, and it was purely out of my passion for running and setting goals, and just loving how setting running goals has sort of, transformed me as a person and focused on something bigger than myself. And definitely I do the same. I've gone on to become a qualified wellness coach, and it's all about, setting goals and then working back from there and breaking down the steps each by, step by step, and working out what I've got to do day by day.
And I was always told, eat the frog first each day, so which means do the hardest thing first.
Yeah, Yes, I have that. I've seen that video actually on YouTube, and it's a powerful message. And I have to say, I'm good with that sometimes. Other times, not so. I go for the little things, or we always have our moments of procrastination.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. And you mentioned off air you've started or nominated a passion day. Find your passion
Yes.
day. Sorry.
Yes. Find Your Passion Day, 16th of November, because through my business, I am really passionate about working with women to find their own passion and their own purpose, because I know what running does for me, and, I know I wouldn't be the mother or the wife or the woman that I am without it. And so one of the big things I hear from women a lot is that they would love to have their own passion or hobby or interest. They don't know how to find one, nor do they know how to start. And so I come up with this idea: let's create a national day where women can, forward plan and pencil in some time for themselves on that day, even if it's just 15 minutes. But it's about, starting, trying, or doing their passion on the day with no guilt, no judgment, no shame, no idea that they've got no time. It's just, pencil it in.
So what are the first steps of finding your passion? Like how would you advise me on my passion? Like, I've got a few different things that I love, but if you're like, say, a mum and you've been a mum for a few years and like you're basically mum and you've kind of lost yourself because you've let it go because you've put your kids first, how do you find yourself again or your passion?
Yeah, so the first thing I always say to women is, what did you enjoy as a child? And really come back to those things that you did, in school or outside of school. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be in sport or in dance or in singing. It could be, a nature that you had, a character trait that you had, that perhaps, helping people was something that you were really passionate about, or you always found that you were always the one that was looking after people. So come back to those things that you enjoyed as a child, and even, young adulthood, even pre-kids. We tend to forget the things that we did before we had kids. And then the next thing is really identifying your values. So understanding what is most important to you. And, that's in terms of, do you love to feel challenged? Do you love adventure? Maybe it's, you like some downtime. So just really identifying those core values, because they're the things that start to resonate in your mind around what's most important to you.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a good start. Definitely.
Yeah.
And just describe for us a day in the life of you.
Day in the life of me, if it all goes to plan and my daughter doesn't wake up before me, I usually wake up at 5 a.m. each morning. And this is something I've really been doing the last 12 to 18 months. I was inspired by the guy Al Halrod. I don't know if you've...
No, I haven't heard of him. Al Halrod.
Yeah, I hope I've pronounced his name right. He has created a book called The Miracle Morning, and talks about waking up at 5 a.m. each morning and doing the things that you love in the morning before you start your day. So what I do now is I wake up and I do a short meditation, and then I'll do some exercise, whether that's yoga or riding the bike or running or something. I find that I just can't function if I haven't done those two things before my day starts. And then it's my daughter wakes up and we have breakfast together. When I was working in my corporate job, I really hated that I had to always just rush her out the door, and I wasn't able to sit down and enjoy a breakfast with her. So since I've been working for myself full time, this has been one of my non-negotiables, that we always sit down and have breakfast together. And then it's off to kinder for her, or if I need other care with my mum or mother-in-law, I take her there so I can do some work. And then it's, smashing out work all day while I've got some hours to myself. And then, back with my daughter and dinner, and, the fun begins.
The witching hour.
Yeah, exactly. All those fun things, yeah.
I find, because my kids are 6 and 9 now, they get, they calm down a little bit, the witching hour is not so crazy, because they just kind of know what to do. And I think that routine is, really important, especially, okay, unpack your bag when you get out from the car and do those steps. And if they know what's coming and what's expected of them, they're a lot calmer. and they also get rewarded with the screen time. So they do it super quick. What's the best advice you've received?
So when I started my business a little while ago, I heard this quote on a podcast. I'm slightly addicted to podcasts. And it was a quote that is, energy flows where your attention goes. And I heard that right in the early stages of my business. And ever since then, it actually headlines my website homepage. And it just reminds me that, okay, I've got all these ideas, and perhaps in that initial stage, I have no idea what to do or how I am even going to do it. But I just have learnt that when you're focusing on something and all of your energy is there and you believe in it and it's important to you, that the how and the action just comes with it. And I've really learnt that over the last couple of years since starting my business.
Yeah, also, like you did mention, one of your hacks is like meditation. And I reckon meditation, if you meditate on a certain topic as well, like those answers, they flow quicker as well. So
Definitely. I can't talk up the benefits of meditation enough, actually. Love it.
I need to really start doing it. I need to start getting a few healthy habits back into my life, because like when you get so busy at work, it all kind of flies out the window because you're too busy at work, and, the first thing that goes is your fitness, obviously. Well, for me it is. And then the next thing is, the food goes a bit down south and... I totally get it. And you know what? And I have moments where I'm exactly the same way, that you just get so enthralled in the work that you're doing that you forget other things. A really good app for meditation, which I tell everybody, is Insight Timer. Mm-hmm. Really great app. There's thousands upon thousands of meditations there, and you can get short ones, so 5-minute ones, right up to an hour and a half. Really good meditation app. Are these free? Insight Timer, it is? Because I know Headspace is only free to a certain point, and also Calm. Have you heard of Calm?
Yes, I've heard of Calm. Insight Timer is definitely free, and there's meditators who have created the meditations from all over the world. They do also offer courses which are paid, but, like they're $8. So very low fee. Yeah,
very affordable. That's the thing with music as well. I find that if an album is like $25 to download, it's too expensive. They need to make it a lot more affordable. Like, I don't mind paying $10 for a download for a whole album, but $25 is just a bit much, especially when you're not getting a physical product anymore. Like, there's no printing of CDs or anything like that. So pricing is very important.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't get the songbirds anymore when you download. That was the best bit as a kid when you had CDs. You had the songbirds to pull out the tunes.
Exactly. Now you've got to look them up.
That's right. Google them. That's right.
So along with songs and all that jazz, are you watching any Netflix or Stan, or are you an avid reader?
Yeah, I'm pretty much an avid reader, but typically audiobooks. I've become obsessed with anything that I can put my earphones in and listen. So one book I've actually just finished was Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. Mm-hmm. And really good, read or listen, just around identifying your values and then setting goals based on your values, to live your life in alignment with what you want. So right up my alley, but really good. And through the audiobook, she's the narrator herself. So actually listening to it, I felt like we were having a conversation together. It was great.
Well, isn't it a bit awkward though? Like if you actually met her, you'd be like, yeah, hey, how you going? She'd be like, don't know who you are.
Definitely. I find even social media does that too, that you sort of see people and you're like, I know you. I'm sure I know you.
Yeah, you look so familiar. Where are you from? Or you start to talk to people about their posts as well, and then you think, oh, I'm not stalking you. It just came up on my feed, But you scroll. So.
Yeah, I know. You slightly always do feel like a stalker when you talk to people about their posts.
Yeah, I also, not recently, it was probably over a year ago now, I signed up to Grace Lever's sales funnel-y thing, and then I was in Melbourne airport once and I saw her, and I must have like looked at her like, oh my God, I know her. And I think her husband at the time looked at me like, what the hell is wrong with that chick? And then I just was like, I can't even say hello now because I've just made it awkward, and I just kept walking, you know. So yeah, don't do that.
Funny.
Tip number 1. So each day you're obviously cooking or preparing meals. Like, what's your go-to meal?
My go-to meal, so in my household we're doing a bit of a low-carb lifestyle, and that's mainly for my husband with his Ironman triathlon. We're trying some different things. So at the moment it is lots and lots of veggies with meat, but I do love a good salmon, roasted salmon, and I've just found this awesome recipe for a roasted beetroot salad. So
Ooh.
I've been having that with, another side of veggies. So it's meat and veg at the moment.
How many cups of veggies do you reckon you're eating each day?
Yeah, a fair few, because we're having them, at breakfast sometimes, and then at lunch and at dinner. So yeah, lots.
At least 10 cups, it sounds like.
Hate to put it into that format, but yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah. I know there's 2 things I always ask myself each and every day. The first one is, am I being productive? And this morning I was definitely not being productive because I was just, on Facebook. And then the second question is, have you had your salad today? Because I always try and have my salad every day, and some days it just doesn't happen. But they're my 2 go-to questions in my head.
That's good.
Yeah. So what's one area of your life you would like to improve?
The big thing for me at the moment, and you can probably relate, and some of your listeners, is just switching off from work. I find that this is such a tough thing sometimes, particularly, at the moment I'm so enthralled in this Find Your Passion Day that I'm just, wanting to research and create and do different things. So this is something that I really want to work on. I've started on Fridays. This is the day that I'm home with my daughter, and it's no phone day. Now sometimes I do fail, but I go easy on myself, but just trying to switch off and just trying to have that downtime and some boundaries around work. Not logging in after my daughter's gone to bed, making sure I'm making time for myself and my husband as well.
Yeah, that's very important, because once the kids grow up and move out, you're stuck with each other. Yes. In a good way. So do you have any daily hacks to make your life run a bit smoother?
I've probably already touched on this, but definitely meditation. I find, even yesterday, as I said, my daughter woke up the same time as me, and I didn't get to do my meditation, and I just felt like I was not set for the day. I just wasn't myself for the day. So that's really important for me. So I do 5-10 minutes in the morning, and then I do another 5-10 minutes when I'm going to bed.
So could you do the meditation with your daughter and teach her that ritual as well?
Yeah, so I have tried to do that, and Insight Timer has got some really good kids meditations as well, and so we will do it sometimes, or I'll just lay down with her and do some breathing. Mm-hmm. But it probably lasts a couple of breaths and then she's over it. But,
of course. You've got to build it up.
Slowly we do a little bit,
I know at my kids' school, they do mindfulness classes before school. So the school starts at 9:20 and these classes start at 8 o'clock. So they go to mindfulness class on a Monday and Tuesday for an hour. And I find it like that's the only class that they love to go to. And there's no complaining, and they run in happy and they just love it. So
that's great. That's incredible. Such a great initiative too.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the local mums actually. She's done some study around it and then wrote a course and I went to the principal and offered it to the school. So it's really good. So hopefully it'll be coming to your school.
Yeah, great idea.
So I've just got a few quick questions and then I'll let you get on with your no phone day. Have you signed up to any websites recently that you find value in receiving their emails?
Yes, the big one I love at the moment is The Healthy Chef by Teresa Cutter. So I'm a bit of a, pre-snacking batch maker on Sundays, and so I love being able to have go-to snacks. So she's, loving her website and her emails.
Have you made any of the snacks from there?
Yes, constantly. So she's got some awesome peanut butter balls, protein balls, baked blueberry oatmeal, which I just love, with some coconut yogurt and strawberries. But yeah, really, really good recipes and products too.
Yeah, that sounds fancy. Fancy, delicious. What's one piece of advice you would give your pre-baby self?
Just to be in the moment. Just, embrace every moment that you have with your daughter, your husband, your family, in your work. For me, those early days of being with my daughter were, they still haunt me a little bit. And I always remember thinking, I just can't wait till she's this age. I just can't wait till she's doing this. I just can't wait till she's doing that. And I've really just learnt the last, 18 months, 2 years, that no, it's time to just be in the moment. Every stage is a challenge, but it's always also a really good time too. And just be.
Just be and let it be. Let it be. And last question, what's the most useful and useless baby item you have?
Probably a bit of a random one and not that exciting, but my vaporizer. I was a bit late coming to the vaporizer party, but, when she's sick, and we had constant bout of tonsillitis last year, that, putting the vaporizer on has been a godsend over the years.
Do you put the Vicks in it as well?
Yes.
Yeah, and then it just makes the room smell like lovely.
Yes, exactly.
And any useless stuff in your house? Or...
her toys.
Her toys, like all the fluffy toys?
Oh, yes, absolutely. She actually brought about 20 of them into bed to me this morning.
Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. Yes. I find Shopkins just as bad as Lego on the feet.
Yes.
So they're pretty useless. Useless bits of plastic. Yes. But that company made so much money.
Oh, they all are. Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, I'll leave you on that happy note. Thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast. It's been very enjoyable this morning.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting to you.
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Busy Mum podcast. Don't forget to let your friends know, and also subscribe to the iTunes channel, and also my socials if you want to see what I'm getting up to. A brand new episode is out every Monday morning, just like clockwork.